Welcome to another episode of WJAG-TV. This week we say goodbye to Ike Jane, visit Cobbham Park and see some cool sculptures from Athens artists, get an update on the controversy surrounding now former Superintendent Dr. Damon Means, and find out how we can clean our rivers with Oliver Nessel. I'm Aaliyah Nowell.
And I'm Keke Raiford.
And this is WJAG-TV with your weekly school news. On Monday, December 9th, the Clarke County Board of Education held a special called meeting regarding the employment of now former Superintendent Dr. Means. The board upheld a motion to place Dr. Means on administrative leave while searching for an interim superintendent. Here's Ansley Guntermann with more.
Hello Jaguars, I'm here at the H.C. Edwards building where on December 9th, the Clarke County Board of Education decided to put former Superintendent Dr. Damon Means on administrative leave and appoint Zernona Thomas as Chief Executive until an interim superintendent can be appointed.
Dr. Gant, I make a motion to place Dr. Means on administrative leave effective immediately, appoint an interim superintendent as soon as possible, and appoint Dr. Zernona Thomas as acting chief executive pending the appointment of the interim.
Now, part of the goal was to put him on administrative leave was so he would not be the voice of the school district.
If it would be this easy to oust the superintendent, why we can't get rid of the board members that causing all the ruckus?
We have to learn how to unite around the importance of equity. You can believe that equity is the most important work of our district and still think that the way it's currently being approached is not helpful for the district or for the kids of Clarke County. It is possible for both of those things to be true, and it's not either you support Dr. Means or you oppose equity.
People of the Athens community rallied together, some in support of Dr. Means and some not. Either way, tensions were high as everyone anticipated a decision.
I've never seen this community this upset and being pulled together this cohesively. There are a lot of white people that are not happy either. So I would not be surprised if some of the same shenanigans that the board pulled on Dr. Means would not occur with some of them.
Many community members felt the school board's decision was motivated by race, while other people felt it had to do with the superintendent's extra spending on contracts and consultants.
When a man such as Dr. Means come in, who has the ability, the intellect, the accolades to do what he's doing, and history has shown, especially if you're a man of color, a black man, there's always extra obstacles to overcome.
The only thing he wants to do is to get everyone level. It's not just about the black kids. It's not just about the white kids. It's not just about the brown kids. It's about all kids.
Though they might not agree with Dr. Means, members on the opposing side do agree that there is cause for concern and more understanding between both sides.
There's a lot of hurt and well-earned lack of trust, I think, within the local African-American community. I think it would be very presumptuous for me to say, here, let me come in from my, relatively privileged position to say this is how you should feel.
Some attendees think the school board is fair and capable of making their own decisions, even though it may cause discomfort throughout the community.
I regret that there is so much animosity right now. I think it is very unfortunate that there have been the public attacks from prominent leaders in the local black community against school board members.
After it was decided with a 5-3 vote, most of the attendees of the meeting were too emotional to speak. We will keep you updated with the future of our community. But until then, this has been Ansley Guntermann reporting for WJAG-TV.
Many people stand by Dr. Means, but then again, some do not. The hope for everyone is that the community will come together instead of remaining divided.
One thing that used to keep us together was the Ike Jane bakery on Prince Avenue. Sadly, they closed their doors for good recently. After a decade of serving up and baking goodies to the Athens community, Ike Jane has been shut down due to unexpected rent increases. Here's Dominic BLE for more info.
Since 2009, Ike Jane has been a big part of the Athens community by providing its neighbors with delicious breakfast items, friendly service, and coffee. Owner Corey Jacobs informed us on how the thriving business first stepped into the community before its eventual closing this past month on November 27th.
When I was in college, I worked at a restaurant in downtown Athens, a cafe really, and we did baked goods and coffee, and I met my original business partner while I was working there, and he got the lease for this space, and I had a similar skill set, so he asked me if I wanted to help him start it. I worked there from 2002 to 2008. We started here in 2008, we started working on it. I think we just saw that there was a need for breakfast and there was a need for coffee in this area, and this space was available. And the history of this building was that it was Black Forest Bakery, so it had something that people were used to coming here for, which is baked goods and coffee and breakfast. I think that we saw a lot of potential in this location because it has a lot of different things that are hard to find, which is that it has outdoor seating. You can walk to it. It is surrounded by neighborhoods. There's families everywhere that don't leave. So like the university is an amazing asset, but people do leave in the summer, like the population fluctuates. So being here and being surrounded by families that live here all the time really made it more interesting for us to put something here.
Though business has been great since the beginning, the owners of Ike Jane ran into an issue. Rent costs for their property were raised more than they normally were, which brought them to the decision of closing the restaurant because no location had everything that made Ike Jane what it is.
We found out about our lease changes on not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. We spent the week trying to figure out options. We looked at different locations to possibly move it to, but we really couldn't find anything that has what we need, which is space. I like that we're walkable. I don't want to be somewhere where people have to drive. So that outdoor seating is hard to come by. So all of those things are things that we're looking for, and I just haven't found something that I'm comfortable moving it to. So we talked to the staff, and we announced it on Saturday. We kind of went through all the avenues I could think to go through to fix it, and there just wasn't really a good answer, so we made the decision to close. My main goal right now is just making sure that my staff has jobs, that they have things to go do, so that they don't lose their homes. You know,
definitely.
Those things, so they can pay their bills.
Despite the bad news, Jacobs is very happy with the way she and her staff have interacted with the community throughout the years.
I really like being a part of people's lives. We have customers that have been coming in the entire time we've been open, and it's really nice to kind of see their lives change, see them grow families, see them kind of get new jobs, be excited about things, just like the different way that the community has changed and the way that people have changed. We've really enjoyed being where we are, and I wouldn't change anything that we've done because I love where we are. I love what we've become for a part of this community, and I hate that this is where we are and that we're ending. But at the same time, like, I feel as though, and I know as though I've done everything that I possibly can, and I just have really enjoyed every minute of it, and I will miss it desperately.
Athens will miss you too, Ike Jane. For WJAG-TV, this has been Dominic Bielli.
That is so bittersweet. At least Ike Jane wasn't just another coffee and donut shop. They made their customers feel like they were home.
Now let's go to sports.
WJAG-TV Sports News, I'm Lorelai Crook, and joining me is Takumba Ojo.
The boys varsity basketball team has had a great season with a current record of 6-1. They most recently defeated the Upper County Blue Devils 89-29. The players seem very content with the direction the season's going so far.
The Cedar Shoals boys basketball team recently played Elbert County, winning the game 89-29. The guys reflect on their performance in their season thus far, including their loss to Archer 58-43.
I feel like against Archer, I did what I could do, the best that I could to, help win, but it wasn't enough. And, it was a tough night overall, and shots weren't falling. Defense wasn't there, but the game yesterday really backed up for it because we came out there with high energy, and we just went out there and did what we needed to do. Even though it wasn't that good of a team, we still played against them like it was Buford or like a really good team that we're going to play against. So it was really that game was just to go over. It was like a practice basically. We were going out there and working on stuff that we need to work on in order to beat better teams, way better teams in the future.
Archer, I feel like we weren't ready, like mentally. We came out, we weren't playing good defense. But Elberton, we played like solid defense, played Cedar Shoals defense.
One thing that we have and we can still improve on is defense, as far as talking and letting each other know what's going on, because everybody can't see the floor. So if everybody's talking and let everybody know if somebody's cutting or if somebody's open, and if somebody's man is wide open, then we can get better as far as letting each other know what's going on. We have a state championship team. The team this year is better than the team last year because everybody this year is involved and actually buys into what Coach Thomas says.
I feel like I do what's good for the team. So whatever the team needs, I do it.
On the defensive end, just trusting what he says, doing what he asks us to do. And so with just, everybody doing that, then we can go as far as we want as long as we put our mind to it.
The boys are currently ranked number 6 in Region 5A with their next game at home tonight against Tequila. Come out and support the Jags.
The girls' varsity basketball team has a current record of 3 wins and 4 losses. The girls are hoping they can improve and capitalize on their best attribute.
Last Tuesday, the Lady Jags played the Elbert County Blue Devils, winning 50-27, which was a great comeback from last week's loss to Archer, 67-48.
We got 3 freshmen on the team, so we got to build it up. Since the 3 freshmen are getting to know them, we all coming together and play team ball. We have a lot of fast guards on our team, trying to get the ball out quick. We had a couple losses, but we bouncing back.
The girls will also play tonight with tip-off at 6 o'clock. Let's show up and cheer them on while they try to bring their record to 500.
The WJAG swim season has kicked off, and the players seem very happy with the direction they're moving so far.
The Cedar Shoals swim team just recently had their last meet on December 7th. The team is happy with their results, but is looking to improve through team bonding and practice.
We just finished with our Saturday meet, and that was pretty good. It was really long, but this Saturday we have our swimathon, which is going to be for fundraisers, and we'll get a lot of practice in this week.
Our team is practicing a lot morning and afternoon and going to the Ramsey.
I swam breaststroke for the first time this Saturday, and I also brought down my 50 free to 33 seconds. So I'm hoping to have my 50 free at maybe 33 or 32 seconds for the next meet, and then also better in my breaststroke.
This year I've improved a lot since last year as an 8th grader swimming.
This is my first year on the team, and while I've always been swimming, I've never done it competitively, and I've had to learn the technique for all of it, and so it's a learning process, but it's coming along. I think that we're going to be a really good team because we have a lot of people on the team this year because we have a lot of 8th graders with JV from Hillsman.
I'm expecting to get better times and better times for all my events.
The next swim meet is the Clarke Oconee Invitational on December 20th at the Ramsey Center.
That's all for sports news this week. Again, I'm Lorelai Cook.
And I'm Takumba Ojo.
Now back to the latest news.
On November 10th, Cobbham Park had its dedication celebration and formally opened itself to the public. Its purpose is to promote community through showcasing art pieces that the public can enjoy. Here's Dennis Maganda with more.
For the past couple months, the historic Cobbham Foundation had been working to create a small community park near downtown to be open to the public. The park was centered around a Harold Rittenberry sculpture on a small piece of land at the intersection of Cobb Street, Harris Street, and Prince Avenue. On November 10th, the park was opened and had a whole event to celebrate its dedication.
Well, I'm excited about all of it. You know, everything in here I'm excited about. I'm excited about all the granite work, the ping pong table, the chess tables by Stan Mullins. Those things are absolutely amazing. The mosaic by Krisha Ara, the statue by Harold Rittenberry, and the sculpture by Doug Makomson here. I feel like every single element in this park is interesting. I like it all.
I would, I mean, especially with some of my friends are big, and my wife is a big ping pong fan, so I think that the granite ping pong table will be a big selling point, you know. And I love Harold Rittenberry's sculpture right there, and then also Krisha's mosaics are pretty beautiful too. So it's like mainly just hang out and bring your dog and just, you know, enjoy it.
Well, we wanted to make it where it was a place that people could come and relax and people watch, but also an active park where there'd be things for people to do.
And I mean, there's lots of smaller art pieces that I didn't mention that are also in the park that I'm excited about, and more is going to come. You know, this is just the beginning of it.
So there's the native plant garden, and there's educational reading displays so you can learn about why native plants are important. And we are using a solar charging station for phones and whatnot, and we're trying to embrace new technology and sustainable technology.
The park offers a variety of different activities as well as pieces of art from professional, well-known local sculptors and artists.
I think it's easy. You know, it's a public park, and the only people who are benefiting are the public, and so people are interested in doing those projects. You know, it's different if you're like, I want you to come to my house and to do this, and then it's about cost and availability and all that sort of stuff. But when it's about doing something for everyone, I think the artists are really interested, especially the fact that their work then gets displayed publicly, and a lot more people are seeing it, and then are, you know, aware of them and their work.
I'm sure it's sometimes hard for me to tell how it's going to be or how many folks are going to be there, if it's going to work out. I had the idea to do a medley of songs about parks, but I also knew that a lot of the word park would be in the title, but it wouldn't necessarily be obvious that it was a song about a park, and that some of the songs are kind of silly too. So I wasn't sure how it would go over, but it went over as good as I hoped. But we had from the get-go, Kathy had asked to do Saturday in the park because it's such a theme, despite not being July or a Saturday. It's got the spirit of, you know, visiting a park and everything like that. So that was an inspired decision on their part and made it a lot easier to kind of do that as a finale. So.
There are a few other parks like this, but we're trying to contribute to this movement, and we hope that more and more parks like this get placed around Athens. I mean, that's the goal, right? This park can't serve all of Athens. We need more of these parks all over, and I think we would see a very different community if we had parks like this everywhere.
The Historic Cobbham Foundation's main motivation for the project was to create a place where the community can utilize the park in a variety of different ways that benefit a lot of people, as well as the environment.
Well, my friend Kathy Curbo was a big part of putting it together, and she reached out to me recently to see if I could play a few songs for the event. So I had driven by and seen it as it was kind of coming together, but I didn't know exactly how much was being done until really recently. But they've been working on it for a while, and it's pretty beautiful.
Well, one of the things, like I was mentioning in my comments, is that we believe in a complete street theory of Prince Avenue, and that just means basically the street is not just about getting people downtown. There's livable neighborhoods around here, and the things or items on the street should be for everyone. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it develops. We'll see. I mean, what my vision of it is to see people using it. So if I drive by, I want to see, you know, yoga in the park, or Tai Chi in the park, or chess in the park, people actively using the park. That's the things that's going to make me happy. I think people should use it how they feel, how they want to use it, as long as it's respectful to others and to the park.
This has been Des Paganda with WJAG-TV News, signing off.
Aaliyah, that park looks really awesome. I like the ping pong table. You trying to go this weekend?
I would love to, Keke. I've actually never played, but it could be a fun experience. And we could admire the sculptures there as well. I was also thinking about checking out the Oconee River this weekend. Running through the heart of Athens, the Oconee River is one of the most polluted rivers in Georgia. The river tests high in pollutants, which could be fatal to Athens residents. WJAG-TV reporter Oliver Nussel went to find out what's causing the pollution and how you can get involved.
Athens, being one of the older cities in Georgia, has a number of outdated terracotta pipes to transport sewage. In addition to this, there's a number of unregistered septic tanks beneath the backyards of many Athens citizens. According to data collected by the state, over 20% of the Oconee River basin is not suitable for its designated use. This includes 768 miles of the 5,000-mile drain of the Oconee River basin. In some parts, the levels of fecal coliform bacteria approached almost 6 times the state-mandated limits. However, some Athens citizens go above and beyond to try to help the river, such as the volunteers of UON, who hold multiple events a year in order to keep Athens' waters clean.
Pollution. So there are several different forms of pollution that could be impacting the water. That can include trash, like very visible particles of litter. That just wash off of roadways with heavy rainfall. There are lots of underground sewer pipelines that run through the city of Athens. And so sometimes the infrastructure of these pipelines, they become impaired, causing for the sewer pipelines to fracture and cause for a little bit of sewage to leak out of there. And so one of the things that we like to do at these monitoring events is sample for bugs. And so they are a good indicator for the amount of pollution, like chemical pollution. And
one of the things that we do is we regularly monitor the Athens-Clarke County Mayor and Commission agendas. So all of the issues that come up in the county, we're kind of tuned into, so we can speak out.
UON encourages people of all ages to participate as they hold multiple community outreach events a year.
Our young students are going to be the next generation of citizens, so I think it's important to get them engaged as soon as possible.
There are many ways to get involved. With Upper Oconee Watershed Network, UON, there are several ways, like at science and monitoring events. We like to hold quarterly events where volunteers, citizen scientists come from all over the community.
But there's no reason why, middle school, high school age students can't get involved with organizations like this.
You can also go and pick up trash in your local stream, or just go and visit your stream and take notes on it.
So there's a lot of different opportunities, and I think the earlier you get started, the easier it is to just continue on this path.
Be aware of what's going on in your local streams, and just being a citizen scientist is a great way to get involved.
This has been Oliver Nessel for WJAG-TV News, signing off. Now back to the studio.
Just thinking about all the pollution in the river makes me want to do something.
Well, if you or anyone else would like to support the cause, visit uown.org to find out how you could get involved. Well, that concludes this week's news. We'll be back next week with all new stories about Cedar Shoals Jaguars in the East Side community. Again, I'm Aaliyah Nowell.
And I'm Keke Raiford.
And this has been WJAG-TV with your weekly school news.